gentlemen, this is Last Resort and Uncle Kev, WarRoom Studios, presenting the next party jam.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 3, COVID-free.
COVID-3, episode 3, The Wrath of Pat. Ladies and gentlemen.
Shit, we should have named the episode that. I like that. The Wrath of Pat.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Uncle Kev. That's Last Resort. And this is Patty Too Scatty.
That's right.
A.K.A. Saint Pat.
A.K.A. Pat Daddy Sausage Patty for your mother, in case you didn't know.
A.K.A. You Want Another Bite. We're here in the War Room. It has been probably a good month since our last venture here in the War Room. It's been a pretty shitty time for all of us, except for Pat. Pat's been living a good life.
I've been doing all right.
That's what happens when you're communist. No, we ain't getting. We're not getting into that. But yeah. So right off the bat, I had COVID. It's real. It's a real thing.
But you gave it to nobody, so that's really worth the applause.
The background story on that, it all started on a cold Saturday afternoon at work. And my buddy C-Rock brought me, and I wish I wore it today, the Wu-Tang Clan with Bernie Sanders on it. Is the Wu-Tang Clan and Bernie Sanders is all, like, tucked like that on the shirt. And he dropped the shirt off, and he was about to dap me up, and I was like, man, safety first. So we fist pounded with Paul's. And the next day, my grandma got home from the hospital. She had COVID. They didn't recheck her to see if she still had it. Well, apparently, you're going to have it for a while. It's going to be in your system, regardless if they test you or not. But the next day, me and my mom ended up getting a COVID test, and we were sick as a dog. And I had it for 3 weeks, constantly throwing up. Like, when you throw up, you're not throwing up nothing but phlegm, and it feels like your ribs are breaking. It's not a good feeling. I didn't feel hungry, didn't feel thirsty. I was super dehydrated. I had a lot of sleep. I went to the hospital twice. The first time for fluids and antibiotics, and that helped a little bit. And then the next time I went back because my heart was like pounding out of my chest, and my doctor was worried that I had a blood clot. So I went there, and there's some number, I forgot what the name of the thing is, but when I first went there, it was 600 and something. When I went back, it was 795, which is a high indication that you have a blood clot somewhere. So they did an x-ray, couldn't find anything. Did a CAT scan, couldn't find anything. And they just sent me home. And another funny part about that is instead of waiting for somebody to come pick me up from the hospital, I decided to walk my ass home, which doesn't seem like a long way until you're walking and it's like 24 degrees outside. You're like,
miserable.
Yeah. But it was a good walk, and it's not a bad walk until you get away.
Should have said something, dog. I got a bed. Like
I didn't want to wait for it, dude. I just wanted to get out of the hospital. But it's a good walk because you have a sidewalk until you get away from the hospital, and then it's just a narrow road and a ditch. And UPS trucks are flying by like you're not even there, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die, or I'm gonna fall in this ditch and it's gonna hurt. But luckily I made it home. But thank God, all praise. I made it through. I feel a lot better. Highly recommend anybody to please take zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D. Even if you don't have any symptoms, just get that immune system up. And I got my buddy Pat here. He knows a lot about this shit. He recommends. So he can shine some light on it if he would like to. If not, then he's basically saying fuck you.
You a COVID expert?
Well, no, I'm not a COVID expert by any means, but definitely hits a little close to home as well, considering that my girl had COVID at the same time as Kev over here. Coincidentally, don't know if she stopped by the place that he works. Don't want to say no names, but but she also had it, and it's rough. You know what I'm saying? She has also COPD, so definitely high risk, but she pulled through, and if she did all right, I feel like it might not be that bad. Hopefully, we get through this. Everybody that I know who's had it is fared just fine. A little bed rest, They were responsible about it. So hopefully that's what we do in the future.
You vaccinated?
No. I actually, because I'm an essential worker or whatever, an electrician, they offered my work, some of the first slots or whatever to do it.
Did the same shit at my place.
Yeah, mine too.
Man. Did you take it up?
Fuck no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say what anybody else should do, man. But for me personally, I don't think I'm ready to do it yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of there's like 4 different types. You know what I'm saying? Or 3 or 4 different fucking types.
Yeah, Moderna. Or whatever.
Yeah, so and you're like, all right. You have multiple people making it different ways.
Yeah.
You know, let's go ahead. Let the guinea pigs get there. See how it goes.
Yeah, and vaccines historically haven't shook out well for the first people that have taken them a couple times. So.
And I'm also curious, like, Kev and I would talk about it, because, Kev, I know you want to take it, especially now that you've had it, and I respect that, but on me personally, I want to know, like, do the kids get vaccinated? You know what I mean? Is it a one-shot, one-and-done deal? Supposedly there's second strings of COVID, And then what about the people, like in your case, that have already had it? You know what I mean? Are those antibodies stronger than the vaccine?
Well, from what I was told by the emergency room doctors and another doctor is, if you don't get the vaccine and you get COVID the second time, it's twice as worse.
I hear you.
So if something is going to be twice as worse as what I just had, whatever, I'll take it, man, because I'm telling you, you feel worse than you want to die at that point. There's no point in life. I lived 3 weeks of my life, and I could tell you 4 moments out of that 3 weeks, which is really messed up, dude. It was just a blur. I mean, it's truly messed up. And I don't know if YouTube is going to like this or not, but putting your tinfoil hat and conspiracy theory hat on, I always thought it would be smart to get it when it first happened, because if there is some government plan, to wipe everybody out, if they see everybody in the first stages of getting done, oh, it's not that bad, and then they release a second batch, and that's when they get you. I don't know. Again, that's conspiracy theory. That's not holding up to anything. It's just conspiracy theory.
I am curious, Pat. So everybody in Kev's house had it.
Right?
Yes.
Did you get it?
Nah, man. I just steered clear of my girl as much as I could.
Which sucks.
Yeah, she stayed in the room. It was pretty easy. I just stayed away from her, and it worked pretty good. Nobody in the house got it. We have.
So that makes me really like. I'm sorry. I've always been skeptical of the fucking like. How's it really transmitted? Is it through the air? Is it physical object or physical touch and all that shit?
Well, and again, I'm not an expert, so please don't take it as is. I heard if you touch something and it sits there for 5 minutes, it's already killed itself. So I don't understand about
what,
like the clean, like, yeah. Say if I had COVID and I touched this and nobody touched that for 5 minutes, it's gone. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just something I heard. So I understand the cleaning if somebody's constantly going behind you, but if you could just touch it and walk away, and then somebody comes back an hour later, they can touch the same spot and not get it. But just to harp on, him saying, Pat saying that his girl had it, it really affects everybody in different ways. I was in a household where I had it worse. My grandma had it, and my mom had it. My mom, she didn't feel good, of course, but her main issue was she didn't have taste or smell. My grandmom is my grandmom, so you can't really tell. I think she had COVID just by name itself. But me, I had it freaking terrible, man. And everybody catches it I've talked to different days. Like, yeah, I've had an upset stomach. I can't taste or smell, and that's like the worst part. But it could be with health issues. Like I've got diabetes, and I'm a little big, and my job, I don't move much. I don't move much here. Working in the studio, I'm like stationary, which I need to work out more. And me and Pat's had that conversation.
We did recently.
So somebody like me getting it compared to somebody like Pat or Tim, where they're constantly moving, they're constantly doing something, their immune system is higher than mine possibly, it can affect them way different. So
that's another, isn't it? How'd your kids fare with everything? Any of them catch it?
Well, no. My son is like 16, so he's a little more paranoid about it. So he stayed pretty well away, just tucked away in his room, away from his mother. Everybody did pretty much fine. But if I could add to what Kev was saying, I don't want to sound like I'm denying anybody's experience, because there's people out there that have died from this.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to back him up on, everybody does definitely react differently to it, and it shows that. So I just would like to, back you up on that one. But some dead air there.
I would have just left it there, and we would have just kept you on cam for like 3 minutes.
Just for 3 solid minutes.
He ain't even looking at he's looking away.
I don't know what to do with my eyes. What was that movie where he doesn't know
The
what
hands,
to do with his
Ricky
hands?
Bobby, Talladega Nights.
That's
He's
me
like,
right now.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Somebody just puts them down for
Yeah,
me.
you're just having a conversation, brother. Fucking. But yeah, everybody, like you said, everybody experiences it differently, which is what makes me skeptical of the virus, or not even just the virus, but the vaccine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely
would
have
like
a
to
strong skeptical myself. I probably lean on the more skeptical side, but I definitely think better safe than sorry every time. That's
Right.
why we have insurance, right?
Yep.
You don't plan on crashing your car, you pay insurance.
Well, I can speak on it that I have talked to several people at work, because we just had a drive last weekend at Dover International Speedway where we got the vaccine. We had to sign up and we can get it for free. Of course, I didn't get it. And they had one this weekend. Of course, I didn't get it because I'm here. But the one lady that had it, I know good in the meat room, she said that she got the shot in her arm, and you move up into like a parking spot for like 15 minutes, and they just check on you. They ask if you're good, and they ask you a couple questions. As long as you seem sane and you're not out of there, you get to leave. She said the worst pain she had was just a little bit of pain in her arm, and she could only move her arm up to here, but now she has full motion. She can do this. And I think they're calling that vaccine arm or something like that, where it kind of gets stiff.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's the same thing like the flu shot, though. The flu shot can do the same thing where you can only move your arm a certain distance or whatever. So, but I strongly feel I'm going to end up I would love the Johnson & Johnson one.
What is that?
Just
The
because it's one shot,
right?
yeah. And I don't know, Johnson & Johnson feels like a safer name than them other people that I don't know much about.
See that, and yeah.
I mean, they make no more tears. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's why I personally need to do more research.
But
I lean towards maybe getting it, but like past it, it's skeptical. You're just like, I don't know, man.
And with the same thing with
Dude,
conspiracy,
can you get tested? Sorry, can you get tested for antibodies?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm
not
not
sure
sure
about
Because
that.
I would feel
I think
that
so.
would help me
I
make
think
a
they got an
decision.
antibody count that you can
see what I'm saying?
that you can have. I recently heard about that.
Because
So,
dude, before it all broke that this is COVID, they had a name for it and shit. I for a couple days was out. You know what I mean? I didn't lose sense of taste or anything, but super dehydrated, weak, and all that shit. I remember all that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And it's quite possible you could have had it, and again, because your immune system, you constantly work, you're stronger.
I kicked
you
it in
fought
a
yes.
couple days. You know what I mean?
And you smoke weed. Fun fact.
No
this is a fun
Oh,
fact.
I wonder if you're about this.
My mom asked the doctor. She said, "How come I had the least trouble out of everybody in this household if we all have COVID?" And the doctor said, "Are you a smoker? Just regular cigarettes?" And she said, "Yeah." And she said that can put a barrier in your body to help from becoming 100%. So
I'll take it.
What was
so
that?
there you go.
Dog, what did I tell you the other day? I saw a research that was talking about how cannabinoids supposedly attack the virus. And then I saw another one that was talking about how vitamin D is like really big. You need to soak up as much vitamin D as you can.
Yes.
And I told you, dude, I go through like 8 gallons of milk.
You did tell me that.
a
That's a
week.
lot.
You know what I mean?
Tennis Park
I
cat.
was like, yo.
Yeah. And I stay in the sun. I stay out as
Exactly,
much as
dude.
possible. So
Amen.
that's just natural for me. But it is important. That's
Well, it
one
was
of the
Joe
biggest
Rogan
things.
said it. He was like, for you to be able to soak up enough vitamin D like from the sun. You would have to walk around all day, no shirt. And this was, I mean, figured COVID came around spring, summer of last year.
Yeah,
you know
around this time actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, at that point in time, I'm putting a roof on my house. I ain't got no shirt on. I'm walking around nothing but cargo shorts.
We actually
we got the Holy
just
Trinity,
did
guys. We got weed, milk, and the sun.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I need. I wouldn't drink too much milk in the sun for too long.
No.
Those things, man.
Milk
you
was
can
a
have
bad choice.
Any two at a time. Have the milk and the weed, or the sun and the weed, but don't have
Never the
milk
sun and the
sun.
milk.
All right, we've got almond milk.
No,
When are they making weed milk?
I tell
Hold
you
up,
what,
bro.
Man. They got weed honey. Have you guys heard about the weed bees?
Weed bees, no.
Can we discuss the
Are they
fact
high
that
as hell? Are
It
they like?
supposedly gets you high. The honey supposedly gets you high because they pollinate and only live off the marijuana plants.
Oh, that's
So-
pretty dope.
Yeah, so the honey they produce has cannabinoids in it, which is
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me like it was going to be a joke, and yeah, they
And
get
for
so
the
high
record-
they burn in the sun.
I never joke about weed ever.
Ever.
I like that.
Not even if there's a fire with
Not-
weed in it.
Not even if what I'm saying is funny. I'm not joking. So keep that in mind, internet.
Almond milk is not milk.
Nah,
I just need
It has a teat. It can be milked.
let's pull
No.
it out.
Yeah, I'm
Let
gonna
me
need to
see
see.
the
I'm
almond
gonna
tip.
need to see this.
Little almond nipple. Looks so
It-
cute.
I get into arguments about this often. I cannot stand that. It's
Nah,
not milk. It's not milk.
It's something else though.
Regardless.
It's a
like milk.
byproduct of crushed nut mixed with water,
That's
and we
weed.
label it milk. Sorry, this is a touching subject
No,
for me.
this is true. This is true. Our
This is
food-
where it gets heated right here over almond.
Well, I mean,
I think our relationship with food is becoming more distorted in every aspect anyway. You know,
This
that
guy.
just
Yep.
that's just one aspect of
Yeah.
it. So I
Well,
definitely agree with that.
well, that can go to a
Don't
totally
tell me a
other
soy
subject
patty
of
is a
other
burger.
things that
Okay,
are other things that yeah.
that's a brick of sadness, is what that is.
And no, it's universally accepted that it's not good. And people still eat it. They still eat it.
I've never had it.
But
No.
you know, full circle, tying this in with the COVID shit though, this is what like I feel like nobody talks about is get your immune system right.
Yeah.
Get your health right. Get your diet right. Because
Well-
all that, your sleep patterns, everything, all that contributes to how well you can deal with something.
Well, to piggyback off that, this is what really pisses me off. So, if
Oh,
you
it's
go
not
and get a
yours.
COVID test, you get the COVID test, you test positive in red letters. As soon as you test positive, you go into a database through this your state, which ours is Delaware. How come they don't have a thing where, okay, you've got COVID, come to the hospital, get some hydration, get some antibiotics right off the start, so you don't have to suffer that long time?
Mm-hmm.
I can maybe, the only reason I can understand that they don't do that is because you would have an influx of people in the emergency room that don't need to be.
Yeah.
But still, if you know how to treat it by giving me hydration through an IV and antibiotics through an IV so I can feel better and start moving on, please do that.
And you know what makes
Yeah.
me think I had it? See, I've had the flu. Okay,
Uh-huh.
fought the flu off. That shit sucked.
The flu sucks.
And
I had it
and
once.
what I had back, what was that? So ended 2019, early 2020, right?
Okay.
That shit, dude. Dehydrated isn't the word.
Yeah,
I
you
was
can't
drinking.
keep it in you.
I was drinking jugs of Gatorade, dude. Just, you know.
He went to 9 gallons of milk that day.
9 gallons of milk. Dude, I love milk.
Oh, but speaking of milk, another thing about COVID for me that happened. So they say you lose smell, you lose taste. Lost my smell, lost my taste. But if I would have anything that was like dairy, like yogurt, if I tried to eat a yogurt, everything milky or dairy would taste like ammonia. Worst, it was
Really?
I don't know if I told.
My girl reported something similar,
Yeah.
so I can back that up. She
So-
said like bleach, but
That
same
is-
kind of thing.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's disgusting. It makes you not, and that encourages you not to eat dairy. So something with COVID has to be attacking the vitamin D thing. Again, my vitamin D levels on the chart were way below off the like it's way low.
Dog, you need to
So-
drink some milk.
Oh no, I'm good now.
Malt.
My stats are good. I'm talking about when I had
Yeah.
COVID.
Oh,
Yeah, I
shit.
love milk. I don't
Listen.
mind.
Who hates oat milk?
A lot of people, dog. A lot of people.
Keep them separate. I mean, they're all right though.
Right there.
It's all right.
Keep them separate from me. They're all right though.
Now I'll tell you, man. As long as we're still talking about COVID, the thing that keeps me on edge and upsets me the most, I think, is nonsensical stuff, man. Like when you walk into like a restaurant, right? You gotta wear your mask while you're walking up to talk to the lady. Then you take it off.
Yeah, that is funny.
What are we doing? Or now you gotta have
What are we
outside
doing?
dining at this place, right? But your outside dining is actually a bunch of tarps under a tent with a heater. That's inside now. I'm asking the question again. What are we doing? Like let's either do it or don't do it, but let's not do things that don't make sense. I got this idea, this little bit that I say, because I always try to think in analogies. But what if I try to tell you, Kev, or you, Tim, hey, you guys, when you guys talk to me, I want you to touch your nose. How would you feel about
For
that?
you, I would.
Well, that's because you're a
Hold on.
follower, you little sheeple.
Do I have to hold it the whole time or just
The whole
touch it
time.
one? Oh,
Nope,
yeah,
you gotta
no, I
hold it
can't
on.
do that.
You
no.
gotta do. Come on, this ain't hard. Just follow along, guys.
Just follow along. But
It's
see,
only
Well,
when
that
you
made
talk.
me mad.
that would make you mad, right?
I'm not mad.
Because
This is
it's
actually pretty cool.
nonsensical.
And if you gotta itch your nose, you can kind of slide a finger. up.
Dude, I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie. The other
Yeah.
day, I was walking out of Ace, and I pulled that damn mask down, and I'm just like, when the fuck's this gonna end?
Yeah.
I'm like, I am so sick of not being able to just enjoy the fresh fucking air. Coming and going out of a store. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, truth
We're
be
all
told,
feeling it.
I don't really put it on. I'll say it at the risk of sounding like a jerk. Everybody, thinks the guy that doesn't do it is an asshole. But I just feel like I don't want to go along to get along. And if the
I
worst
like
thing
that.
that happens is that somebody stares at me, that's a shame. But I'm not gonna feel that energy that you're putting on me because I don't support the cause. I would feel worse going along with how I feel.
Well, see, and that's fine and dandy for you, but it's the people that start seeing you not wear a mask are like, oh, if he can do it, nobody's saying something, I can do it. And then that's the person that has corona, and then they're spreading it to everybody. And, like, again, even with this studio, I did not come in here in 3 weeks, and I said I would feel bad if somebody got it and died on my account for something that is, yes, it's our music, it's our craft, but for something that could be generally meaningless.
Yeah, nope.
Just
And when my
come in-
girl
just to
died,
come
I
in
stayed
here.
away from her. I surely stayed away from her. So I don't want to.
You guys can bitch about the mask, but me working outside at the gas booth cleaning the pumps, it is warm and it feels good when it's a cold winter day.
Yeah,
So
No.
that's the only positive.
Silver
about that
linings.
yeah.
But,
I can't lie about that. That is true.
But to go back with the whole restaurant thing, it's funny you brought that up. We went to IHOP. It was sometime this week, and we had to wear a mask going in. Then when we were seated, we could take our mask off. The waitress came up. She had no mask on, so she's walking around the whole restaurant with no mask on. What? That really makes no sense.
Well, why does the waitress, right? Like, okay, she sees multiple people as they come in and out.
Exactly.
So that's one thing, but she's in a sea of people not wearing a mask themselves.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, and if we're talking about the mask still, I mean, it upsets me because I understand, the dogma of, we gotta keep these people safe and people are dying out here, and they are, and I don't want to discredit any of that. But do you know how much of that air that you're breathing in through that mask is not going through the mask? The bulk of it. If you were to secure off just your mouth and breathe through the mask, you would find you're getting a completely different amount of air. So that means that it's just like a pacifier for you to have on there. What effect are you getting from it if the majority of the air you're breathing is not filtered? I don't understand.
At the end of the day, if you could smell cologne from 6 feet away on a guy
Can you smell mine?
through the mask,
I did it just for you.
oh man, it's beautiful. What is that?
It is cute.
Is that your car noir? Oh,
Jerko
Midnight Steel?
Noir.
no,
It's brute.
brute.
Got that Old Spice smell.
Actually, it is Old Spice, but not. It's a like flavored Old Spice. It's not like OG Grandpa Old
You can
Spice.
smell
like
a fart and
Alpine
cologne
or
through the
something.
mask. Is it really
It's
working?
Ocean Breeze or something. I don't know. I think it smells good. What were you saying, Tim?
I'm saying if you can smell cologne and a fart through the mask, is it really working?
And a lot of these masks, also, what
You seen
about the
the one
fact
with
you
the
can
little
just
breather
cut
thing
your
on it?
shirt, wrap it on your face, and now that's okay, right? Like you buy a mask from the store. It says on the mask, this does not protect from coronavirus, but you put that sucker on there, you're complying, and you can get your cigarettes at the 7-Eleven, and society's happy. But what are you doing, really? That mask says that this does not protect from coronavirus, but the purpose you're putting it on your face is for that express purpose, right? So it's aggravating. The circular logic of it just drops off at a point into just.
I think we're at a point in the game where people are going to start getting vaccinated. There's an answer, if you will, and there's going to be a group of people that don't. There's going to be a group of people that still get sick. There's going to, the virus is still going to exist, but I think we're at the point of the game where everyone's ready to move on and see what happens, type of deal.
Yeah,
I'm ready for that.
That's where I'm at.
I honestly think we're at a point where the media and conspiracy theories have phased each other out to make you think for yourself, which leaves everybody confused because we're all dumb humans.
Yes.
So you either listen to the news and say, oh, vaccines are helping, or you listen to the news and say, this person just died from the vaccine, or you listen to conspiracy theories and say they're putting microchips into that kind of crap.
Freedom of information is a good thing, but when you have too much to wade through, man, it's hard to see what the truth could be.
Right.
Man. We got too much information.
And then you have the logic like I do is like, oh, that would be me. I'd get the vaccine to improve myself and die. Right away, I'd have a heart attack and die.
Oh, let's hope not.
No, but I'm saying that's the kind of, thought process your brain messes with you. Because you're getting information from the left, the right, and the center.
And even if it's safe, pretty much relatively safe, if the whole country's going to get it, there's going to be outliers that are going to get sick and die. Some people die when they eat peanut butter, and they don't know it. So, just because if some people do die, that doesn't necessarily mean that the vaccine is necessarily harmful because so many people are taking it,
right.
just to be the devil's advocate.
It's the airplane theory. I always come back to this. Millions of airplanes fly in the sky every day, but one crashes and, oh my God, they're all unsafe. Nobody should, But then again, you drive in a car every day and there's probably 2 to 3 times as many car accidents as there are plane crashes. So it's kind of that theory. It's something that's made. Oops, sorry. I said sorry to myself. What the hell? But anyway, it's one of those.
You've been beating that mic up.
I'm gonna punch it. It's one of them things where you got a small thing that seems big compared to a big thing that seems small. So,
yeah, and I think you have a good point about that, about cars, because that is like a lesson in complacency. That's one of the most dangerous things we do in a day. We are taking our lives in our hands when we go to work. What do? We're texting, we're messing with whatever device. And that's probably the most dangerous. That is the most likely you are to die that day. And you just engaging with the devil may care attitude.
Yep.
Totally
agree.
You do it 1,000,000 times so you don't perceive the danger. It only takes one time, right? For you to make the mistake. One
mistake. That's all it takes. Kid not looking where he's going, you hit him because you're texting or something like that. But I personally feel we've harped enough on catching up on the COVID end of this and all of that stuff. I thought that was a pretty good conversation. So let's go over everything.
Well, look, man, I'm glad we harped on it. Motherfuckers need to know why we've been
absent, and that's what I was coming up next. So, what has everybody been up to? I explained that I had COVID. What have you guys been up to? Sam, I know you've worked on a lot of projects, and I've been following along on Facebook. You want to tell everybody?
Yeah. No, let's talk to Pat first. I have so many things.
So are you saying that Pat doesn't?
Yo, no, I know. No, I know he does.
Man, just my small little life.
That's damn.
Just go ahead.
Why y'all gotta be like that?
Pat is 8'9", and you're treating him like
shit
this.
figured out, bud?
Yeah, well, actually,
nobody I knew wanted to fuck with that.
Nah, I got a new one. I just went and got a new one.
Screw that little decoder.
Yeah, it was time for it to happen. Trusty Dusty, man, she's sitting in my yard now, man. She's a monument to my grandfather once more. But she's not on the road.
That
But
was your grandpa's truck?
Yes.
Yeah, remember
Okay.
he had the yeah, man.
No,
He had the green
things like that.
thing on the back for his grandpa.
Yeah, his
Don't take it
initials.
personal. I don't remember none of that stuff.
Yeah, it's all good, man. But I mean, she did her job, and now I got a new one, and I'm planning on.
Take that bitch apart and fix it.
Yeah, why the fuck not? I don't want to let it sit. I don't want to let time just eat it up.
Say your boy's 16.
Yeah.
Shit, time to get his hands moving on it.
Well, I gotta get my girl a van. Anyway, we got.
Are you serious looking for a van? Because
Yeah.
we're trying to sell that one out there. I think she wants a 500 or 800. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on the price. But after this is all done, you can talk to her because she is trying to sell it.
Hey, man, the
It's a
planets
nice
line
one,
up, man. I tell you, law of attraction's real. I put it out there, and it just comes to me. Hey, the van, here it comes. Yup, we're gonna talk off camera.
And we
about
just
the
got
van.
our Biden bucks, so I know you got money.
Biden bucks.
Yup.
That's dope.
Thank you, President Biden, for devaluing our money closer to bucket Zimbabwe money. I'll take it.
Buckets.
I'll take your devalued dollar, but I won't be happy about it.
Remember,
Oh,
a stimulus won't stimulate us.
Not
if
when we're all dead.
There it is. That's a
Nope.
beautiful line, dude.
It is, and y'all don't even know about that.
Oh, it's coming, man. We're
It's
about to
coming,
drop some
man.
shit on people's heads.
We are, man. Me and we haven't talked about it yet. I haven't been here to talk about it, but me and Kev are working on a project that I think we're both pretty excited about. Man.
Yes, sir.
Put an album together?
Yeah,
It's
man.
fucking dope, dude.
I don't think we really have a name or anything.
Yeah, we joked so much about making Pat's like, dude, we really need a name, and I'll put like 50 joke ass names, and then he puts 50 joke ass names.
That'll
Like,
be
I-
hours.
I could read every single one. You like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
And then like he'll say like a good name, and I'll be like, all right, yeah, let's talk about that. And they'll just be like, nope, that was a joke. He hates the idea of having a name for it, man. But that's all right. That's all right.
I just like our names. But then again, I know you might be trying to rebrand because we keep calling you Saint Pat, but you may want to be something else.
I can never find no good name, man.
I like
like
Saint
Saint
Pat.
Pat.
Yeah, man, it's pretty
I
good.
like it too, but there's actually I found out that there's another guy named Saint Pat. He's a rapper.
Fun fact: there's a song by Papa Roach called "Last Resort."
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, another fun fact. There's a famous British band called Last Resort as well. They're rappers. I'm the better Last Resort.
Funny fact about confused band names: Stained and the band Lit that had the song My Own Worst Enemy.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually both the band Stained, and that guy has Stained tattooed on his stomach. So they went to court over the band's name Stained, and a third group actually won it in court, disbanded, and then Aaron Lewis got the name after that. But that's actually a little piece of music history for you.
That's pretty cool.
That you wouldn't know.
Another fun fact: me and my boy Tony, when we started MC Nation Entertainment was also like some techno group from Europe. Look them up; they've got videos, and it's weird.
MC Entertainment, Prestige Worldwide.
Why?
I'm not gonna lie. If I could rewind the tape and go back a little, I don't think I'd gone with Last Resort.
Eminem Jr.
Slim Timmy.
I've had all kinds of names, man. I've been wanting to call No Good. People are like, that's whack. I had like an idea to be like Ugly, like ugly.
Oh,
but like
that's
But you
dope.
can't do the 2 G's because Uggs will sue you, dude.
Yeah, they definitely would.
And I don't know that you could do Lee because Lee jeans might suit you, right?
Nothing's safe, man.
Isn't it?
Simpsons did it.
Wranglers. We could be the Wranglers.
We are the Wranglers, man. We wrangle those bars.
Yeah.
Did you hurt them?
Yo,
What's
that was
the thing?
good, dog. That was good.
What did you say about Joe Biden making our money Zimbabwe what? That's what we should be called.
The Zimbabwe bucket dollars.
Yes, Zimbabwe bucket
We're
dollars.
gonna have fucking wheelbarrow money.
Zimbabwe
Very soon.
bucket dollar signs.
What is happening?
We're making this is what happens on text, dude. This is all we do.
Yeah.
And then somebody eventually gets tired and we won't talk to each other for like 3 days.
But then we talk again.
and come up with more dumbass
Well, those
names
are the
and
best
stuff.
friendships.
It is.
I haven't talked to Tim in like 14 seconds.
Yeah,
And we're staying strong.
we pooped together.
Little poop break.
Fun fact. I was
Siamese
in,
poops.
Tim was like, I'm gonna be in the studio in an hour 15 minutes. I said, well, this is important information you need to know. Number 1, I'm pooping. Number 2, I'm gonna eat breakfast/lunch. And number 3, I'm heading out to the studio. This motherfucker right here sends me a video that says, I'm also pooping. And shows his bathroom.
I came over to the fucking sink. I'm not gonna be nasty, you know what I mean? But
I mean, we did show each other our poop so we could see if we were regular or not.
yeah.
There was a philosopher. He said, "Nothing human can disgust me." So let's go with that vibe.
Dude, I dig that. Man, you've been hitting the nail on the head today.
Dude, Donald Trump said that shit last week.
Well, Donald Trump's a fucking philosopher, man. He's read his Twitter, man.
Nothing's gonna gross me out. Check my PP tapes.
Bro, I'm gonna need a motherfucking pad and pen. With this
Berbers.
dude here. He said, I don't want to go along to get along. I really like that. I'm gonna use that.
Copyright that shit in this
Yeah.
song. This is the perfect relationship.
I just drop them out there, man. Just shit out the euphemisms.
That he stole from somebody
You said,
else.
motherfucker, what about it with a devil's gonna care attitude? That I thought that was pretty insightful. Then what was the one you just said? See, I'm gonna have to write them down.
Fucking
Then.
blah, blah, blah.
No, not the Zimbabwe.
No,
bucks,
because
man.
that shit's hard, dude. That shit's hard.
Son,
That's her
shit's
name.
hard.
That's her name.
It's like I'm
That shit's
constipated because that shit's hard.
And Tim, you can be in our group because now we're poop buddies.
Oh shit. Oops.
Literally. Oh shit.
Nothing weird about that sound.
Wow, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together with that. I thought we were just having a pause there.
Yo, something else, dude.
Oh. So, what else you got going on?
Yeah, what you been doing?
You got your brand new truck, which looks sweet.
got my
What'd
truck.
you get?
It's
I got
nice.
a Dodge, 2001 Dodge. It's 20 years old, but it looks pretty
No,
decent.
it looks really good, dude.
Whoever had it last redid it, so it looks pretty decent. I'm probably gonna put together some kind of, like junk removal business, me and my son in the near future. So if you got some junk, hit me up, take it out of your house. If your great Aunt Sally died, hit me up, I'll take her antiques. Don't worry about what I do with them. That's what I'll say about that.
You should have just
And
said.
if your mom's got junk in her trunk, you can take that too.
If she's in a box,
He's like, he's got a truck. We got
got
all
a
it.
truck. Yup. If it'll fit in the truck, I'll take it. Nah, man, I'm just about making money right now, man. Fucking around with this crypto a little bit here and there. This Bitcoin, this Ethereum. Anybody with a couple extra dollars should be doing that. I feel like, fucking with the little Robin Hood.
You fucking with GameStop stonks?
Is that what the Robin Hood is? It's all Bitcoin.
No, well, it's like
because I know it's stocks, yeah.
But I think you can get Dogecoin on it.
You
can get Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Cash App has Bitcoin. You can transfer all your money to Bitcoin.
That's what I started with.
Because that Robin Hood stuff, I've seen a lot about that. So, like, I've got IRAs and stuff like that, and that's how I play in the stock market. But so you sit there and do your own trading and shit with the Robin Hood?
I don't fuck around with the Robin Hood so much. A lot of my people do. I do like the Bitcoin and the Ethereum. I got Coinbase. I do. Cash App does have Bitcoin. That's what I started on. But I use it basically as like a savings right now. And when it goes down, put more in. Because I know it's just going to go up. That Ethereum, man, people are saying it could go up dozens of times this year. So if it is, you might want to have some money in that, man. I'm weary of anything, though. Always I take it with a grain of salt, man. Especially if you don't got the money to lose. If you don't got the money to lose, you probably
well, that's the whole thing playing those anyway. People don't want to talk about it, but even in stocks, you're gambling. I mean, it's a gamble.
Most definitely.
You're putting your money up and hoping that it's going to make a return.
Right. And again, shout out, man, I'm giving C-Rock a lot of shout outs, but again, shout out to C-Rock. He was telling everybody on Facebook, Apple is about to split. Yes, it's a lot of money to get one stock in Apple, but you're doubling that because it's going to split on this day. And damn if it didn't split and double your money, dude. But I just didn't have it to put in.
But not only that, dude, to know those things, you got to like really watch, keep up, and pay attention. Like, that's why they have Wall Street. Like, those people's jobs are literally says buy, trade, sell, stock.
But
You know what
that's
I mean?
smart, man. We're the suckers, man, that work all day, with physical labor. I know you mess around with a computer now most of the day, so that's dope. But
No.
It didn't
But-
look like it was dope. Well, that's dope.
no, it is. I mean, what I'm saying is we're the suckers that go to work for money.
I get what he's saying. It's the
You
rat
know what
race.
I mean? Freaking, I think it was I forgot. I don't want to misquote whoever it was, but they said if you don't find a way to make money while you're sleeping, you're going to die broke. Or so
Yup.
many words and that shit's real, man. Like, we're suckers. We got 1, 2
Dog.
little sources of income. You know what I mean? Making somebody else more money than we make ourselves.
For every person you're working for, you help build their business.
No, this is true. And, for some
Dude,
reason, we get pissed off at the money manipulators because they found a way to do a word we can't, figure out.
I'll tell you something, man. I went and saw my old head the other day, yesterday, kicking it with him. My uncle, man, he's 55, 56. Mind you, I have not had a conversation that made me feel this just like, since I spoke to my nan last. When I talked to her at the age of like 76 or so, I think she was, I'm like, you're battling cancer for the 3rd time. Why quit. Come down here, come live with us, we'll take care of you, enjoy the rest of your years. And my nan straight told me, I can't do that. She wouldn't even tell the company she was working for that she had cancer because she needed the health insurance coverage.
Yeah.
Okay? That moment was like a revelation for me. That was like, dude, you need to, like Pat just said, you need to figure out how to make money while you sleep. Started chasing this a little harder,
Yeah.
And then yesterday, I'm sitting there talking to my uncle. Mind you, his wife's retired. And he's talking to me about how, man, he needs to work like another 10 years before he can retire. And he's not happy where he is. And he's got his own shop and he's doing okay and stuff. But to see that looking in his eyes where it's like, wow, this man's worked 30, 40 decades. Still isn't where he wants to be. Knows that he still has to wake up tomorrow. And then not enjoy every breath he takes. But go bite his tongue, muster, and play the fucking game. Seeing that shit, like Pat says, this shit break your heart.
No, it is, but at the same time,
Make
man,
you
it's
go,
all
what am
how
I
you
doing?
Look at it, because we live also at the same time in the most prosperous time in history. Our homeless people have cell phones with internet,
Damn.
which is true.
That's
you know
facts.
what I mean? But but at the same time, both things are true, because if you were a worker guy in the 80s, you could afford to support your house by yourself and your wife, and maybe send your kids to whatever school you chose or whatnot, and you could do it on your construction salary. And these old heads of the last generation don't understand that our generation can't. It's not the same. So really, that is true. Both things are true. I definitely agree with you on that aspect.
If you want to get into why though, that's whew, those rabbit holes on rabbit holes right
know.
there.
No,
It's like, I think first and foremost, America's a service country now. It's no longer like an industrial country. We don't produce as much as we should.
No, because we import everything from like China,
Yes.
super cheap,
And then
then we give
also,
them our trash, which they make the stuff that we.
and we allow
It's a vicious
corporations
cycle.
to allow political influence, which then contributes to the job market, the economy. Dude, it's all fucking tied together. And when you grow up and see it, it's like, bleh.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
I've always
there's
said
nothing you can do to really fix it.
They spent a long time thinking about it, man. They're up early thinking about how they're gonna fuck you over, man, and take your money before you get it. It's definitely real.
When you think about tax,
in
like,
the same light, yes, they're doing it, but aren't hustlers doing it the same way?
No.
They're hustling every moment of their life, saying, "How can I make another dime? How can I either cheat somebody, or how can I get ahead from the person that's above me right now?" So it's a hustler's mentality either way you look at it. So we can't praise the hustler but then hate the people that are actually hustling. So that's two sides of the sword right there.
Well, there's a difference between hustling and taking advantage, of somebody. How much, do you pay out of your check in taxes, and how much does that limit your effectiveness as a person to do work with that money. You know,
but you also got to realize that some of the stuff that's coming out of that check, what it's supposed to be going
go to.
That's
I'll
a
put
big
that-
myth, man. You know, that's what that money, you know, actually goes to. What we think that it goes to, and what it actually goes to, is a common misconception.
You know what really should change everybody's point of view on what money really is, what the value of money is? Because I agree that the value of a dollar is actually pretty weak, but there's
It's no Zimbabwe buck, I'll tell you that.
There's
Thank
so
God it's
much
not,
money
man,
in
but
this
it's
world,
on its
bro.
way.
Think about the fact that people making 70 to 80 grand a year, though considered middle class, though by our standards, are doing pretty well.
Pretty good.
You know what I'm saying? Think about that fact that is poor to some people.
Yeah.
That one man can possess $6.6 billion while there's people without a place to sleep and no food to eat.
Yeah. Well,
Now, we can't discredit this man. He worked. I mean, I'm speaking about Kanye. I don't know if y'all seen that. He's 6.6 billion. I can't take that from him. He came from the slums of Chicago. You feel me?
He was also just bankrupt too, so I don't understand that whole lot.
I don't know
about that.
But
And now he's got a divorce, so Kim's taking half of that.
Fine, let's go Bezos, right? The Amazon motherfucker. Okay. Homie, he started at the bottom, so I can't knock his hustle. I can't knock the fact that, you know, he was genius, if you will, and found a way to make himself a very wealthy man. I can't knock that at all.
Now, little known Jeff Bezos fact: his pop, when he came to town, I believe, came to Wilmington. Hey, so
That's kinda cool.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, Delaware connection.
But the point is at what point do you realize like you have enough?
Yeah.
You know, that's the real problem, dude. Is the way it trickles back down.
A corporation has a
So
debt
many advantages
to its shareholders to always increase its profit and to expand. That's the idea, to keep making more money. It can't become stagnant at a certain point and just say,
So you know what the real problem is the fact that America has become a corporation. Okay.
It always was.
Yeah.
Yes. However, the part of the reason that the money stayed within communities, the money stayed within the pockets of the working class to an extent, was because we didn't have Walmarts, we didn't have Targets. Okay, we had mom and pop shops. What people fail to realize is that if you dig into what business taxes are, there's a lot of tax breaks and tax advantages to an individual that owns a working business. If you have an LLC, okay, you working as a LLC business for a couple years and you show an X amount of profitability, you can then graduate your business to an S corp. An S corp is the first step to becoming a major corporation. What that means is, sorry, do you guys know this?
No,
already?
You're breaking it down for me.
All right, let me break some shit down.
And I'm sure a lot of people.
Well, check this out. So I had to learn all this shit so I can open up my hot rod shop. Okay, and it really opens your eyes with how money works as a whole, not just as we experience it, if that makes sense. Because up to this point, I've only worked for others, allowed them to manage tax, allowed them to manage deductions, and taken home what's left in the pot, right? I agree with you. Sitting at a desk seems nice, and it's definitely not as hard as putting a roof on a house all damn day or running electric. 1,000% done them both, right? But it's mind numbing. It is tedious and it is miserable. I wake up every day to sit at a job I fucking can't stand because it provides me a living that I can do more for my family.
Right, 100%
you know?
Here. It's like I always get my most creative when I'm sitting there waiting for a customer. It's like I could be home in the studio doing,
exactly
XYZ, but no, I gotta have money.
So check this out. It makes you realize that the only way to get out of the rat race is to make more, to be more, to do more. That legit, straight up. I mean, if that's as simple as it gets. There is no secret key, other than understanding how the game is played. And when you finally have that money to play it right. It's all about what you do with it once you have it.
It could be a snowball effect.
Exactly.
If you wanted to be.
So check this out. In an LLC, when you open a business, you have to open as an LLC. That's a limited liability company.
Right.
You have to have your insurance, right? Well, if a company doesn't make an X amount within, like, I think it's 3 to 5 years, it's actually considered a hobby. Not, yeah, yeah, because the economy is just a game. It's a money game, right? You as an individual who own that business, let's say you make $100,000 for easy numbers, you will get taxed as a sole proprietor on $100,000. That tax as a sole proprietor is, I believe, at this point 15%, and so you have to pay 15% on that, plus fucking business tax, right? When you start making enough money and you can graduate to S corp, you then have an option to keep all your money within the business and assume the role of an employee within your business.
Right.
So you can make $100,000, still be the only person running the business, but you could tell Uncle Sam, I only paid myself $20,000 that year.
Right.
So you only get taxed on the 20. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to keep your money in the business. There's also deductions and things you can take advantage of. So pre-season planning, tax season planning with your accountant is super important, because if you're projecting to make X amount, then you can say, yo, check it. I'm going to pay myself $20,000 a salary. We're going to take another $40,000 and go buy all this machinery, all this equipment. So it builds your business, right? And the rest of it gets to stay in the business account. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Government can't fucking touch it. So there's a lot of tax advantages to becoming a player in the game instead of a pawn.
Yeah, I recall when my uncle first started the garage down in Rehoboth. That's what he was, at LLC, and then he started smartening up. He got some people to handle his finances and his payroll and all that stuff. And they're like, you make enough money to get some benefits, you can go to the what did you say, S
corp.
S corp. And then I think now he's just incorporated. His business is incorporated.
100%.
So
100%. And again, you get more tax breaks like that. That's why you ever notice how when we bitch about Walmart, we bitch about all these major corporations, Coca-Cola and shit, and they only paid X amount in taxes, and that's because they get to keep most of that money in the business. That's why Jeff Bezos is worth X amount of dollars. You see what I'm saying? Like, dude, it is such a... And once you wisen up to what the game really is, and understand that the only way to get ahead is to manage. That's what it is. There's a book called The E-Myth Revisited. I've listened to it a couple times. I absolutely love it. It breaks down the ideology of a business owner, an entrepreneur, and a worker. And it says that in each and every one of us in this room, there's like 3 different people in us. There's a manager, somebody who can understand how to delegate tasks and optimize time. There's a worker. That's the person, I don't want the headache of finding the work, scheduling the work, managing the work. I just want to show up, do my job, and leave. That was fantastic. I'm sorry.
That's just what I look like, man. Caught me in the zone, Charlie.
Forget. And the other one, I believe it was a martyr or Maven or some shit like that. But basically, that was the person who's really good at making connections, networking. That's the person that, they may not be overly skilled in the task that we're specializing in, and they may not be really great at managing, scheduling, and all that type of shit, being a manager, but they're really good at social skills. They're really good at going, hey man, I've never met you before. What's going on, man? I really like your fucking shoes. I'm digging what you're doing with this, whatever. And they just and make some connections. You know what I'm saying?
I just see that from a church standpoint. What he just say? Hey man, I like your fucking shoes. Have you ever heard of our church before?
Like a grifter, just sidle up on you and sell you some snake oil.
But you get what I'm saying? Like there's.
Hey fuckhead, come to our church. I think you'd fit in good there, you bitch.
You look like you might gulp up this big lie I got.
You motherfuckers. This might help somebody. Look, this book had a really big impact on me. No bullshit. Because what it told you was you need to figure out which one of those three you are. Which one of those you're going to find your most happiness in. You know what I mean? Because they call it the E-myth, the entrepreneur's myth. You know, it says Pat knows how to do electric, right? When you working for somebody doing electric, tell me that it doesn't cross through your head, Mom, why am I doing this for someone else? You know?
Every day, man.
Could do it for myself. Save that extra $1, you know?
I gotta jump through the hoops first. Anybody.
Oh
wants
yeah,
to
the
do
licensing
that,
and all that shit. It's
they fucking you
nightmare.
got
You got an apprentice for a while and
Mhm.
everything.
Which, speaking of that, I just graduated. Woo woo.
Ooh, congratulations.
Congrats, man. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so that's about the first thing I ever did all the way through. Truth be told, so fucking
Well, fucking egg. Good on you for seeing it through, dude. Congrats.
yeah. I'm only gonna do it for as long as I have to, because just like he said, man, you don't want to do that for anybody else.
No, but here's the thing with this: is it says that the E-myth is that all of us who have that thought, when we have that thought, don't take into consideration the rest of the playing field. Okay, so there's a lot of people in business who start their business and they still just want to do it all. They just want to do it all and don't understand why their business isn't gaining ground.
They're burning out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have to do
Too
everything.
divided.
Exactly. So figure out which one you want to be. And if it's the manager you want to be, I have come to realize that out of those three, the manager is the one that makes the money. Okay? Because the manager is the one that typically owns the pot, delegates the tasks, and then walks with the profit.
Well, I feel that's kind of true, but not exactly in music, because I could say if I managed you and you're doing shows at, we'll go just real minimum. You're doing a show for $1,000 a night. I'm only getting what, 15-20% of that. So you're still getting the bigger portion. I had to put the leg room out to get there, but you're still making more money. So there are situations where,
yes,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
but
100%. But if that was, but then you understand that that's not the entirety of your business.
That is true.
You
too.
are a producer.
Yeah, but I'm just talking if I was that one, because you said you got to find a position you like. If I was that one position, there's no way in hell I would make more money than the artist.
But
True.
it would be that for multiple people. All
Precisely.
If you
so
are
that
for
would be
multiple people.
that would be your position. See, our circumstance is completely different.
Right.
You're playing two roles. We're both playing that role. You're playing producer and manager. I'm playing artist and manager. You know, so we're both. It's different.
Yeah.
You know, but when you bringing it full circle, the point I'm making is when you realize what the rat race is, which is working 9 to 5, finding happiness in the few tangible things that you can afford. Okay. When you realize that's the rat race and you got to get the fuck out of that, or like Pat said, you're going to literally work till the day you die.
Right.
And still have nothing.
And still have nothing. Okay. You then need to identify out of those three characteristics, which are you? Because I got news for you. Once you understand which one of those you are, for instance, if you're that worker, you're going to be a lot happier realizing you're a worker than you are going to work, working, and wondering, man, I wonder if I could fill the shoes of the manager. I wonder if I could be the networker, you know? And that's, by the way, that's not to undermine the role of any of those three characteristics, because all of those are super important to make teamwork, make the dream work. You know what I'm saying? But you'll be happier once you understand your lane. Right?
Yeah, and it work within your dynamic.
Precisely.
Well, I think we also need to clear up. We kind of, and it's just mincing words, but at that point, you're not working. You're in a career.
Correct.
A worker works this time to this time, or some kind of shift. In a career, you don't have.
That's the
enough
difference
hours in
between a job and a career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also want to retract. Now I thought about it. If I'm playing the role solely as a manager, it would be stupid for me to have one artist.
100%.
I would want more because then that would make it'd be more work for me getting people out there.
That's actually how artist management companies work.
Of course.
They've got thousands of artists, and they literally keep track. Oh, this one's getting a little bit. So let's put more resources. You know.
Yeah, even in sports, you don't just have Tom Brady as your only client. You've got Tom Brady and some wide receivers and other people because you've got your hand in different pots. So if one fails, okay, yeah, that one hurt, but I still got these guys to back up on.
Yeah, 100%. And always have a plan B strategy too. I think that's important in life in general, dude. Like I tell everybody, and I will harp on this: learn anything and everything you feel you can handle. You know, like.
So Pat, you need to get on that stripper pole next.
No, fuck that. Look, yo, Pat can spit. Pat can work on cars.
Yeah, he can
Pat can do electric.
And then
I definitely agree with you, man. You got
Pat's got skills, and
most definitely
get your bag of skills up, and you can exploit any one of them.
Yeah, and keep going with your skill set. Get as many skills as you can. Something I always say about knowledge. Let me have it. I'll figure out what to do with it later. Give it to me. I want to know it, and if you never know in what situation you might know something or a tool that you have in your metaphorical tool bag, that you'll be glad that you know that skill or that you know that thing.
And you know what else, man? People just don't talk about, like, when I was growing up, man, I come from the mud. My mom and dad, they didn't know shit about that. My stepdad straight told my sister, "You don't need credit. That's not important." That is the worst piece of advice I've ever heard anybody give anyone ever.
That one's not good.
That is bad. That is so bad.
To be very nice,
they didn't teach me about liabilities, assets, stocks, bonds, growths, investments, like none of that stuff, man. I started digging into that stuff because I got tired of sleeping out of my truck. Yeah. You know what I mean? And coming from the bottom, like, you don't realize, like, it takes so long to get to a point where you can even have a little bit of jingle to invest. You know what I mean? Because when you ain't got nothing, you got to get those things so that you can get something else to keep building, you know?
Yep. And that's something that's very special about you, like, because I know, and some of our listeners know about your background and your history and your family and stuff that you've told us, but yeah. I know even more from off this, but it's just so amazing from where you come from, and that line you just said, credit's not important, which is, but from where you were, most people stop, if that makes any sense. You follow in your tradition of your family.
Yeah,
and say,
fuck that.
Oh, I'm not going to be anything, I might as well stay here, which is so weird because my uncle said this a long time ago and it never really made sense. He said, I can pay a technician $15 an hour and they'll still live in a trailer. I can pay them $20 an hour and they can still live in that same trailer and have more stuff. Because they have the mentality, I can't get from here. And not dissing anybody that lives in a trailer, but you get what I'm saying.
It's a matter of what you do with your money.
So
really your time,
instead of bettering yourself or getting a better space and saying, hey, I can do better, you got more money and you still live in the same conditions. So somebody just handed you $5 more an hour and you continue to live your same life.
Yep.
Those are strong words right there. Where you came from a position, from what you were told, and you said, I don't want to be here. So I'm going to learn this, and I'm going to learn this, and then I'm going to learn this. Hey, I like this. I don't like drywall.
Yeah. Dude, I still did a drywall job the other day, though.
You're an asshole, man.
Hey, look, man. Listen, that was cash money in my pocket. You feel me?
See, again, totally understandable. So it was, I don't like drywall, but I need the money, so I'm going to do this.
The point is that you still know how to do it. You may not like it, but you can do it.
I don't like it, and I'm not going to do it ever.
Yo, I don't blame you.
You did the legwork, and I had the freaking electric sander, and I was like, no, fuck this, man.
Nah, man, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in assets, anything that's going to make you money. Like I said, I'm sitting there talking to my old head. I love this man to death. He used to change my diapers, you know what I mean? And
that's crazy. I mean, we're talking days ago.
Well, you know, it was really cool, man. I had Dean over there, my firstborn, and I put a video of it up on Facebook and Instagram, all that shit, TikTok and crap. But I got a video of him playing ball together and shit. I haven't seen that man that happy in years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And he was just so happy to be chucking ball with my toddler. He's like, boy, I tell you what, this is crazy. This is crazy. He was a little drunk, but he was like, this is crazy. He was like, I was like, what's the matter, Unc? And I'm like, you used to be this tiny running around here chucking the balls, you know?
So he saw your kid as you.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool, man.
Nostalgia.
That's heartwarming.
It was, man. It really hit me, you know what I mean? So, like, when I have these conversations with him and I see that desperation in his eyes, that, like, I hate to say it like this, but that where did it go wrong? Look, you know what I mean? Because I remember being a kid, him talking about opening the shop up, getting it going and pumping. And I remember him talking about building his old Ford and shit and all this stuff. And I talk to him now. He had the shop up for a little bit, but he never went, like, full legit. Always thought it was impossible. You know what I mean? He didn't. Careful what I say. He didn't want to take the time to do the rest of the legwork I did for my shop. You know, like, he told me it was impossible, and I had to go to him like, no,
I thought it was.
You need to look a little harder. You know.
Yeah.
So to see that in his eyes, it just kind of like re-solidifies everything we were just talking about, and it's like, man, I need to figure out how to, like Pat said, make money while I sleep, because this ain't gonna be me.
Nah, man. I think what you're saying about, you know, your uncle or whatever, you know, not believing in himself, it's another quote, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. You know, either way. And that's
man, I need a pen with this motherfuckers in here.
I take that shit to heart, man, because that's what helps me is these colloquial terms, man.
I'm actually going to take another myself.
Appreciate you.
We got a lot of clanking bottles around here. People hate that sound.
Oh, they love it, man. That's a whole other side of the internet.
Asmar. I put the ass in Asmar. I'm trying to tell you.
But just to go back, like, even me personally, I took the time and energy to throw money into this, and thank God you helped me with this. Thank God for Pat helping me doing the stuff he helped me paint and stuff like that. And he's done some stuff around here. But I admit I fall short a lot, man. Pat probably, I want to say, a good 6 months ago, when we had a session, I think I was just making a beat and we were fooling around. He's like, why don't you do a podcast, man? Yeah, and I was like, okay, Pat, if you can get it set up, I'll do a podcast. I literally told him that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I would have done it, but he thought of it. He's got a lot of great ideas, but he had the idea, but we kind of, I don't know, maybe I discouraged him because I gave him some, like, how are we going to do it?
Now Pat's pissed off because I came in and was like, let's do a podcast.
No, it wasn't even about Pat. Pat was like, I should do a podcast. Like, it was, he was
should do a podcast.
Oh, I meant
me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Me. He was like, Kev, you should do a podcast and just, like, interview people. And I'm like, okay, you get the people, I'll interview them. I don't see how this is going to work. And I may have discouraged him on a good idea, which we are currently doing on our 3rd episode. But again, that's me stopping instead of thinking and doing and planning out. I just kind of shrugged it off. And then you came. How did we even start this? Did you say we should do the podcast?
Yeah, and then you were like, Pat literally just brought this up.
Right. So, and I'm not discounting Pat for what he said, but I will say I apologize if I offended you, because I did kind of brush it off. I was a little real. I was like, okay, who are we going to interview? Who are we going to bring? How are we going to do this? And we didn't really have the answers at that time, but this happens. Now he's on the podcast. So, I mean, but that's just going back to, instead of increasing your levels, okay,
you could
just do a podcast. What do we need to do this podcast? I brushed it off. And that was a dumbass move on my part.
All's well that ends well.
Yeah, true, but
shit happens, dude.
But I feel like I do that a lot. Like, we start getting all these good ideas, and then it gets brushed off.
What's interesting about that is, even if you do that to an individual, right, wrong, or indifferent, right, it's up to the individual receiving that criticism to go, okay, you ain't with it. I am. You know? It, like, dude, power of the mind is a real fucking thing, dude. You know? Especially when you start understanding... When you start understanding projection.
I just need the keyboard here now.
This is my favorite thing. Projection. When you start understanding projection, it's like you telling me, no, that's impossible. you can't do that. That's not going to happen. That is you projecting your failures, your insecurities, the moments that you tried and you lost on me. And I got news for you. Build enough of your own wins, you won't give a fuck about those statements anymore.
Right. Well, and I 100% agree with that. But in the same token, if you're going to do that, if I say no, we can't do that, you should have a say, yes, we can, and this is how we can do that.
Yeah.
I feel, and I know
that
Pat,
comes into relationship dynamics then.
Well, in the case with Pat, he's not I mean, look at there he is. Okay, he's not a confrontation. What is the word I'm looking for? Confrontational. Yeah, I was missing some syllables there.
Couple.
Yeah. So, he just played off. He didn't want to,
Well, I didn't have those answers at the time. I was kind of hoping like that you would have those answers, and when you didn't,
he was like, it was literally a half-baked idea.
It was a totally baked idea. You know what I mean? I was totally baked when I had the idea in the meaning of the word.
But at the same time, and again, like I said, he doesn't like confrontation, so I can understand why he just kind of dropped it. But again, I still, at the end of the day, I felt like kind of an ass because I just brushed off an idea we're doing now.
Yeah. It happens.
We can't do it. But
I mean, shit, dude. I mean, we, to that point though, and to Pat's credit, those answers, even for us, took a couple hours to come together. How are we gonna pay for this? How are we gonna pay for that? What about videos?
It took a couple months to come back.
Yeah. Pause button.
It took a couple months to come
Every
back.
time I listen to the first episode, and it's like, it'll probably be 2 episodes in, I just laugh at the fucking irony.
So far, seriously, the first episode is the best one. I just thought it, because it was fresh, it was new, we didn't know what we were doing. And we just spit bullets.
Dude, I'm looking forward to listening to this one back.
Yeah, me too. We're already at...
I mean, if we could nail down a smoke break at some point.
That would be pretty sweet. I'm about to do the whole Sober October thing. It's just
you
the
doing?
wrong month. It's just the wrong month to do it, that's all.
Well, you seen that thing on Facebook? And it was like, you need a tolerance break. And then shit like, no.
Yeah, just get me with that.
Yeah, right though?
I'll take a break from the tolerance break.
Well, do we really have anything else to talk about? I mean, because we're already over the hour. And I think this has been a great episode. We talked about a lot of stuff.
We did.
Is there anything else? Anybody chime in? Spit out what you want to talk about.
I paid off all my debt.
Hey,
there you go.
Hype, y'all. Playing the credit game.
I don't acknowledge any of my debt. So. So I'm feeling you, bro. I'm right there, financially free, 2021.
Oh man, that is fucking hilarious. Yeah, man, paid off.
I gave you that 21 grand in Zimbabwe bucks. Get out of here,
bucket bucks.
He gave me reverse $3.
Reverse $3. You owe me. But yeah, how did we usually end this? I think we ended this was like everybody at least say one good thing. We didn't do it episode 2. Episode 2 was crazy. We had your boy Bubba.
God bless him. I gotta get him back in here.
We had 2 guys in here.
One thing I want to say.
Oh, go for it.
Do it.
I definitely sounded very negative in this interview. A lot of the things I said sounded
no,
I didn't think
not
that
very
at all.
positive. The taxes are getting you. Freaking conspiracy this. I'm generally a positive guy, so just let me put
Pat, you did
out
fantastic, brother. We're going to have you back.
You seriously did very good, man. I don't think you pulled any. And if somebody gets upset,
I think it's really
internet.
interesting to see how everybody handles the first podcast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like even Bubba was like, I don't know, but then we settle in. Watch the second one, you're gonna know what to do with your eyes.
This is actually, and I'll be told, this is the first episode that I didn't feel nervous starting. We just went at it.
Dude, I'm just happy to be back in the fucking studio, man. Like, dude, you don't realize what 4 weeks of hiatus to a creative mind does. It's like solitary confinement,
Yeah. I'm going to have to figure out a situation to move this keyboard because I just noticed that I was talking the whole time and it was on Pat.
Dude, you know what this 4 weeks also taught me?
What's that?
How fortunate I am, again, to have the team I have around me. I've gotten complacent or comfortable in the fact that I can come up with a hook, an idea, and just hit you up like, yo, you free? I gotta get in there. Let's work this out. Let's weed this through. You know what I mean? I literally have files on my phone right now from the past 4 weeks of just random hooks that come to me and ideas that I'm like, I need to see Kev. But this is a great third episode 3, COVID free. We back on the keys.
Yeah, so I like I said, I think we gotta wait from this on part 2 because we had Bubba and he made it the Bubba show and we had 2 guests on the couch and that was distracting. But I really want to do at the end of the show one thing you are happy or something. Say something positive. So if anybody wants to start,
I'm gonna do that in a sec. But one thing I gotta say,
all right,
because I was watching back on the second episode, I think we went a little hard on Bubba.
Did we? You think?
I think because truthfully, he was here doing what we wanted him to do. He was talking. You know what I mean?
I don't think we went hard on him though.
No.
Like
the Bubba show. Yeah.
Oh no.
Every time I know.
Yeah.
I just need him to know that.
He
ain't say nothing. It was my own, paranoia.
Oh no, but when Bubba comes in here, it is his show.
You best be ready to pay attention to what he got to say.
That's what I like about this microphone right here. Whoever's at the head of the table, say what you want, whatever's on your mind. Pat, if you want to say something that we haven't talked about, go for it, man. We can.
Today's the Pat show.
Nah, I think we pretty much said it all, man. You know, we talked about everything that's relevant, nowadays, without getting too specific about anybody's, personal feelings about anything on specific. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Last Resort Lucky13 podcast.
We're not. See, you're trying to skip it. We got to say something positive.
I was
or something good.
About to do it, and then you stopped.
Did he not just close the show?
Can you?
It was like the box was like.
Well, I could go.
All right, do it again. I'm sorry. Take
this
2
is literally
and go.
This is literally how I end out all my videos, asshole.
No, we say something positive, then we end. But it's fine.
I end it on a positive note. Stay happy, healthy, and we love you, fucker.
I'm just gonna keep the cam here for a couple seconds so
this is some bullshit.
Watch him steam. All right, Pat. Anything positive or good news or?
Let's see, man. I got some good news for the world. There will be a tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Well, it's gonna happen. Whether you're gonna be here to see it, it's
damn.
This shit is coming up.
That
quick,
went
son.
from bullshit to what the fuck?
Nah, man. Let's see. Do better tomorrow than you did today.
Okay.
Right.
That seems like a blanket statement, but I guess we'll take it.
Even if you did good today, and if you did bad, you're a piece of shit.
But
now you're being hateful, dude. You went from a blanket statement to being hateful. I don't know what's going on with Pat.
You know what? I want to end it on hate. All right.
Okay, when Pat's on, he can end it on hate because he's such a nice guy anyway.
I want to end it on hate, so
it's easier.
I just did it.
That's it.
That's it.
I just want to make sure because
hey.
if I change the screen, and then you're like, but then I want to add.
Nope.
And just testing, okay. And I'm just thankful to be better. I'm thankful for being in the war room, and I'm thankful for you guys checking this out. This is Uncle Kev.
Last Resort.
Uncle Kev.
St. Pat.
Uncle Kev.
Oh, I'm done with this.
St. Pat.
Last Resort. You want to do it again?
Steve. And you've been watching our podcast. Thank you guys. Bye, guys. All right. Let's hit this outro music. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, WarRoom302.com. Check it out.
Oh, yeah. You figured out how to play shit while we record?
I like the part where I drunk water.